Thank you for the amazing introduction, Miss Felicia. Hello, everybody. I'm Vincent Russo-Hood, and my sister started a nonprofit organization called STEP Save the Earth Projects. And as Miss Felicia said, she started her first project to help people collect shoes and distribute them around the world. And my project is all about nutrition and hunger for people all around the world. So the main reason why I started this project was because a long time ago, my sister was a very picky eater, and so I'm the exact opposite. I love to try new foods, experiment with things that I might not be comfortable with trying, but I at least try. So I always wanted to eat healthier foods because more recently in our times, fast food has been a predominant source of our food nowadays because it's very cheap and in its name it's fast, so we get it at a fast pace. So one day I decided to create my own garden, and the first vegetable I put in there was kale. And I thought it would be a good idea to introduce my sister, Olivia, to trying kale. And the most popular recipe for this vegetable is kale chips, which is pretty much potato chips but with kale. And so you cook them in the oven, and they're supposed to taste like kale. So we told Olivia to close her eyes because she would refuse to eat anything green. So we told her to close her eyes and try these new potato chips that we wanted to make. She tried them and she loved them. And to see the impact that it's had on her life, to now kale chips being one of her most favorite foods of all time, she eats it all the time. I started this because I knew if I could make an impact on my sister, who I knew would not, she wouldn't do anything to eat any other foods than what she liked. And I felt like once this happened, this could have had such an impact on so many others that have the opportunity to eat healthier foods in such variety of ways. Now, I have been partnered with Advent Health and the city of Deltona to make my own community garden because I wanted to make an impact in my community and for the people around the world. And so, what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is the importance of gardening. The importance of gardening starts throughout all of history. It's where we hunted and gathered as in farm the land and farm for food. This is a natural way we get our food and everything like that. And nowadays, because there's so many people, there's such a high demand for food that we do something called mass produce, which means that we produce stuff in factories and certain places to get them as quickly as possible. And the most popular version of mass producing are GMOs. GMOs are something that we use to mass produce foods. I want to ask one question. Does anybody know what GMO stands for?
I do.
Okay, can you explain?
GMOs. Oh, go ahead.
Genetically modified.
Okay, so you're correct on that. But the last part is, what does the O stand for? In GMO. If you don't know, I can explain.
Please do.
Okay, so GMO stands for genetically modified organisms or organic foods. And this is used nowadays in nearly every food that we eat, including the meats, the vegetables, and sometimes even in our drinks that we drink. The most popular GMO is corn. Corn is in nearly everything that we eat nowadays. And with this, we can use corn in so many different ways, like high fructose corn syrup, and cornstarch is in nearly all of our food. I just wanted to give off a few examples of what it actually has, cornstarch and stuff like that. So, and today we have soda, cereal, which soda stands for the Coca-Cola and Pepsi, cereal, which can be any cereal brand you want, canned fruits such as canned pears, peaches, and tangerines, Gatorade, and pretzels all have corn in them. And the biggest impact of what corn does is that corn corn is not digested in the human body system. And so GMOs technically we cannot digest because we have never been introduced to them until very recently. So our body's trying to adapt to foods that we have not had in the recent past. And the importance of gardening is because with GMOs, you don't know where they come from, how they're produced, or why they're being made. So we start gardening because we know where the source is coming from. It's coming from our backyards. We can see us do it in front of our eyes. There's so many different ways of us to grow a garden. And one way I depicted a GMO when I first started learning about this was video games. Your kids your age love video games, and so the thing is that with video games is that the CPU/AI aren't real, but it's a way to depict how the game is played to give you a real gaming experience, like as if you were playing with other players online. And so I thought of GMOs the similar way, because with GMOs they technically give us the nutrition we need, but can sometimes damage and harm our bodies. I wanted to let you know that corn originally was not meant to look like this. It was actually depicted to look like wheat. And wheat is something that is very nutritious, but is now very commonly known as something that we don't use in so many of our foods. And I just wanted to tell everybody that gardening has such an impact on so many people because it's a good way to exercise, have fun, and it's a way to take care of our bodies and show us personal responsibility. And
Vincent, real quick, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's all good.
Miss Benzo, is someone named send him that person in the group chat again that put the inappropriate text?
Get out.
Get them out of the group. They're at the
I
bottom.
can't see them. Hold on one second. I have big screen.
And they just put in the text, I thought y'all cut me out, I'm back.
They're out?
That's the same person from last time, right?
That's the same person from last time, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Okay. Sorry, Vincent.
it's all good.
Anybody else?
Nah, that was the only one that popped in.
Thank you.
Okay. We're good now?
Alright, yeah, go ahead, boss.
Okay, got it. Thank you. And I wanted to end up this presentation in a way of some examples on ways you can start your own garden. You can go to the store and buy seeds, and you can, of course, grow them, use dirt from your own backyard, water them. And with growing your own food, it's a responsibility you have to take to make sure you take care of them every day, as if they're kind of like your pet, but you end up eating them. That was a bad analogy, but I'm sorry. But it's just a responsibility that we have to take, and even though it does take some time to make food, it ends up becoming a good thing at the end. And I just wanted to...
Still in here. I'm sorry.
It's all good, it's all good.
Back.
They just said something else.
Where you see them?
Yeah, let's get that problem sorted out.
They're talking in the crowd.
Where do you see them?
They're on the last page, next to Ford, F-A-R-D.
Yep,
Ford?
they're the last person. They're next to Fard. The last.
Cinnamon.
So if you minimize Vince,
You have to remove them.
them on the second page.
Cinnamon?
Yes.
Can you see?
I hear.
Hey, you
They
bored.
aren't
Oh.
there.
As well.
They're very bored.
Are they gone?
No, there's still...
What's left?
That's...
Yes.
Just remove them a second time.
Are you able to go to the chat and click on them?
They're gone. They're gone. You said a racial comment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's all good, y'all. Alright, Vincent, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Thank
It's all good, it's all good.
Because you guys
Oh,
don't
good.
respond. Like let the directors respond. You guys don't respond. Okay?
Thank
Like,
you.
silence. Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, go.
So I just wanted to say that there are so many fruits and vegetables in such array that we can actually regrow them. And some of our most popular fruits and vegetables, like potatoes, apples, and carrots, can be all regrown just from using the seeds. And so I have an example here of a potato. And so as you can see, the potato looks natural, but with these natural seeds that come out of them, if you can see, those green things are natural seeds that come out of the potatoes. And what you can do is you can actually plant these into the ground, and it can actually produce more potatoes. And it's a fun way to see how something so small can come from something we eat nearly every day. And then with carrots, if you cut the tips off of carrots, you can end up planting the top of it, and we have a result of what it looks like afterwards. You do it one time, and so this is the result that you get. This is technically the roots that come from the carrot, where they grow, and you can just take a piece off like this stem right here, and you can regrow it again, and you can keep on making your own food just from simple things that you can buy from the grocery store. And I just wanted to let you guys know that it's a very fun activity. And I saw that, and I heard that you guys planted avocados or avocado seeds. That's a very cool thing. It's very great. And I'm glad that you guys have started a small step to impact yourselves to make a garden. And if you guys ever want to do any more activities, you can just contact me or through Miss Felicia to contact me, because there's so many different ways that we can work together as people in our community to help regrow the system that is sadly being torn down today.
Woo! All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Vincent. Do we have any questions?
Yes, I have a question. What kind of soil do you use when you're planting your gardens?
We really use like Miracle Grow, which is like what you can just buy at Lowe's, or you can even use your own dirt. And Miracle Grow has like this spray, which is like a fertilizing compound, which you can use to enrich your soil. So you can use anything you want, and if you just get the Miracle Grow solution, you just spray it a few times every day with the water, and it helps the plants grow much efficiently.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wait a minute, I have one more question.
Okay. Oh, also before you say your question, another way you can do it as well is you can use coffee grounds as well as soil.
Cool.
Okay. So
No problem.
do you grow them outside, or do you put them in a pot and grow them that way?
Well, one example is that we have this tomato plant that we put on a pot and we put on our back porch. But we also have a blueberry branch which started in a pot but got too big, so we put it in the ground. So it doesn't matter where you start. But I recommend for potatoes and carrots, you start in a bucket, like a Lowe's bucket. But for apples and stuff like that with seeds, like tomatoes, you can start in the ground. That's fine.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you.
No problem.
Any other questions?
Come on, Scott.
Look,
Tell them like buy this
I have
fall,
one
they can
more.
get their own gardens
Since
that
we're
have that.
doing the avocado and we just put it in the water with the toothpicks, what do you recommend as far as the process and when to put it in the ground?
Once you can see like green stuff coming out of the seed itself, like with the potato and how it has the green sprouts, once you see stuff come out, then you can have the decision to either put it in a pot or in the ground. But I personally recommend in a pot.
I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question.
I will.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, I have a statement. Like, we have, like, coal so we can, like, grow and stuff, and some fell out, and then, like, little plants grew out of it.
Oh, wow.
My avocado's bleeding.
That could happen sometimes. Because sometimes the natural oils come out of it when you poke something in it.
Oh, okay.
Because the natural oils, like avocado oil, actually comes from the seed, not the fruit, or not fruit, but not from the avocado itself. It comes from the seed inside.
I'm cooking it.
Thank you. Okay.
Now, what Vince is doing is the answer to hunger. As we start to move forward and finding solutions to some of the social problems, this is one of them. If more of us grew our own fruits and vegetables, there would be a better chance at solving hunger in our own community.
Exactly.
I'm not even talking about someplace out in Africa or India or someplace like that. I'm talking about people right here being hungry. Now, there's a myth that you should eat meat in order to get protein. Answer this. Where does the animal get protein from?
Eating.
Eating what?
Eating like the grass and like their vegetables and stuff.
Exactly. So protein does not have to be consumed from the skin or flesh of an animal. It is coming directly when you are eating fruits and vegetables. So we do not need to eat meat. Let me say this. I'm not saying you need to be a vegan. I am just saying that, a lot of people fear going to a more fruit and vegetable diet because they're afraid that they're not getting something called meat. You don't even have to drink milk to get protein. Because where's the milk coming from?
The cow.
Exactly. So what he is doing, putting up these gardens, these fruit and vegetable gardens, is a lesson for all of us as we start to address some of the social issues around food and nutrition, proper nutrition. So, Vincent, what is your latest project?
Our latest project is actually at Advent Health in Orange City. We, of course, due to COVID, we haven't been able to work as diligently on it. But if you can go over to the Orange City Advent Health, there is a small plot that you can see, and that's where we're going to start our garden, and that's what we've been working on for the past few months before everything happened.
And they can too.
And you guys have the free ability if you guys want to volunteer and help out as well.
And so we need to contact you to do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
They can contact you to contact me, and we can get it all sorted out.
Very good, very good. Any more questions? Has anyone ever felt hungry?
Yes.
Yes. Has anyone had hunger where there was no food in the house?
Oh, yes.
That has happened to me as a kid, not as an adult, but as a kid. 4 of us and 1 parent. Sometimes there wasn't food in the house.
My avocado's bleeding.
Okay. Don't be ashamed about it. A lot of people experience that. The point is that when you need help, you should go for help. Okay? And one of the ways to help yourself is do for self. And that is what he is doing right now, is to, finding a way that we can learn to create for ourselves. As this COVID virus and problem has expanded, we have found that the food, cucumbers, tomatoes, celery, lettuce, all of that is skyrocketing in price. What if we were to grow it instead of having to buy it? And that is what he is promoting in our community, that we help self. Okay? Does that make sense? Does anyone want to volunteer to help?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Don't put up all your hands at the same time.
Share it in the chat. Share it in the chat.
Okay, put it in the text on the side that you're willing to help. and that you want, and anybody interested in building a garden for themselves. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Ariane. Okay, put it in the text, and I'll put you in contact with Vince. Vince, thank you so very much.
No problem.
Congratulations, sister, on her graduation, by the way.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
And I just
found a tree outside already.
What kind of tree?
Yeah, our neighbor likes to garden a lot.
Your mom, right?
Our neighbor.
Oh.
He planted some trees in our yard. Some like trees with fruit and stuff.
What
I have an orange tree in the back of my yard.
An orange?
An orange tree in the back of my yard, and my neighbor keeps saying it's his.
Is it growing oranges?
Yes, it has tons of oranges.
Wow.
Our neighbors used to have one, and it like leaned into our yard, and I used to pick them.
You know that 70% of the nutrition of an orange is in the peel. It's not in the pulp.
You don't eat the peel though.
You can actually. It is digestive.
70% is in the peel. And we throw that out.
I tried the peel once. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
Bro, I love the peel.
Boil it in
It's
sugar
like
water.
poisonous. My aunt said that it can kill you, so I didn't.
What,
So
the orange peel?
yeah.
The only reason why I stopped eating watermelons was because my cousin showed me a picture of a guy who turned into a tree because he ate the seeds. So, like, I barely eat watermelon.
That's fake. That's fake. That's a fake picture. Because I eat watermelons all the time.
That's what my sister told me. I love
I didn't believe in that.
watermelons.
Adults will tell you things like that to get you to stop eating it. That's true. But again, thank you, Ben, for everything.
No problem. And if you guys have any
Good to go. So bye.
if you guys have any questions, you can contact us at Save the Earth Projects at Facebook.com.
Facebook.com/StepUpToThePlate.
Oh, Facebook.com/StepUpToThePlate as well. And you can go to step.ig if you have Instagram.
Can you put that information in the text box, please?
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
No problem.
Dr. Benzo, you can say the good job.